In a world where games merge with reality, Ting, a transmigrant, once shocked everyone with his hidden class Immortal Cultivator, only to find it useless for leveling up. He possesses a life simulation ability that reveals humanity's destruction 15 years in the future. Realizing the coming doom, Ting secretly trains in the shadows to prepare for the war against alien races. The life simulation system activates, confirming host Ting 21, profession, Immortal Cultivator. He is stunned, unable to believe what he sees. He screams in despair, recalling 3 years of suffering. Ting curses fate, realizing he's not useless but actually has a golden cheat. His new world is one where games become reality, full of monsters and mysterious dungeons. All adults can change jobs and enter dungeons to level up. At that time, Ting awakened the rare class Immortal Cultivator. The news spread across the capital, earning him entry into a prestigious academy. But he soon discovered he was stuck, unable to level up. For 3 years, while friends advanced, he remained at Chi Refining Level 1. Yet through perseverance, he reached Body Training Level 6, still weaker than lower-ranked peers. After long waiting, he finally gained his own golden ability and eagerly took action. Ting activated the simulation, joyfully leading his team to hunt monsters day and night. In dungeons, he shone brightly, earning white-grade gear and great rewards. A poor junior girl felt ashamed for not affording expenses. She chose another way to repay him. After a night of passion, Ting began his cultivation. He practiced Pangu creation technique but made no progress in a month, realizing online methods were scams. In despair, he continued physical training. Besides training, he led his loyal juniors to hunt monsters for money while keeping distance. But 6 months later, that girl reached silver rank and cut all contact. Ting was hurt, realizing their bond was just mutual benefit. Instead of breaking, he turned pain into motivation for cultivation. 6 months of persistence pushed him to Body Training Level 7. Unable to graduate, his great trainer fame still earned admiration from juniors. Through effort, he amassed great wealth over 3 years. After 5 years, expelled from school, he opened a profession shop with help from Yu Ponzi. The shop thrived, making Ting a famous merchant until he learned his sister Neon An had died. The shock left him numb, unable to accept the tragedy. 3 years later, war erupted, and his friend Yu Yan died, breaking him completely. He refused to believe someone as skilled as Yu Yan could die so easily. Fear drove him to train relentlessly, reaching Body Training Level 9 in a year. Market turmoil made herbs scarce, leaving his goods unsold. He closed his shop and returned to his hometown. On a peaceful day, he looked up and saw something terrifying. A gigantic creature covering the whole sky appeared. Its gaze made humanity tremble in terror. Many powerful fighters charged to battle the beast. A fierce and bloody war erupted. Ting was overpowered and blown far away. What happened next? The beast devoured the great Xiu nation, and Ting died at age 36. The system announced his first simulation reward: choose between spiritual root talent or Body Training Level 9 cultivation. Data flooded in, leaving Ting dizzy as he realized the simulation had ended. The system displayed the reward options to finalize the simulation. Ting reasoned that with Apocalypse coming in 15 years and his simulation power, persistence could save him. Believing in that chance, he chose the Spirit Root Owner reward. Bright light enveloped Ting's face. He felt energy flow through his body, understanding what a Spirit Root was. He was surprised at how greatly it blessed him compared to ordinary people. Discovering the simulation absorbed energy from white gear, he offered a sharp dagger and gained 5 energy points. Next, the princess gloves were absorbed, granting 8 energy points. The dormitory door suddenly swung open. Yu Pang entered laughing, saying 6 new female students were waiting for Ting outside. He calmly replied they wanted to raid a dungeon and told Yu Pang to save his dinner. As soon as he stepped out, a girl greeted him. Ting reminded the freshmen of the participation rules. Each must pay 2,000 yuan, and all loot would belong to him. From afar, Wang Qingquan, a girl he once knew, watched uneasily. In the 10-mile slope dungeon, tension filled the air. A massive monster charged ferociously. Ting punched straight at the monster's head. The deadly blow sent it flying backward. His two juniors gasped, praising his strength. During reward sharing, they thanked him joyfully. Qingquan approached, her voice soft and hesitant. She whispered, "Brother." She confessed she was in financial trouble. She hinted at repaying him in another way. He smiled coldly, eyes unreadable. "Fine, follow me to the room," Ting replied. Inside, he sat upright holding a small stick. When the whip fell, Qingquan trembled in pain. He told her to recite the slogan Prosperity, Democracy, Civilization. She awkwardly followed his command. Ting preached about guiding lost souls towards spiritual salvation. He emphasized obeying the law and avoiding sin. The following week, Ting worked non-stop taking requests. He repeatedly entered the 10-mile slope dungeon, madly slaying monsters. His fists carried terrifying power, piercing enemies' bodies. The female students crowded around to praise and thank him. He smiled and promised to cooperate again next time. Back home, seeing piles of money, Ting rejoiced he had finally saved 200,000 great Sha Yuan. The system deducted 200 energy points, leaving 1,082, with plenty of simulation runs remaining. Begin the next simulation process. The talent extraction options appear. White type costs 100 points, green type 1,000 points. The system asks for confirmation. Ting spends 100 points, leaving 982, to extract a random talent. The result is a white talent business elite, enhancing trade insight and negotiation skills. He judges it doesn't boost combat, but helps profit in simulations. The interface states hell level up while introducing gear and skills to freshmen and planning business strategies. He advertises cultivation manuals bundled with gear for 988 yuan, and freshmen rush to buy. Though still at body training level 6, he earns 30 million in a year from trading margins. Gradually dominating the school's used item market, his assets reach hundreds of millions within 2 years. He establishes the Tarot Club as a business and opens a shop in the capital. 2 years later, he's expelled, but his thriving business keeps him comfortable. His reunion with Qingquan happens afterward. Ting looks surprised and sarcastic seeing her appear. Qingquan raises a knife, forcing him to join a mysterious organization by threat. He calmly questions what the group is and warns her not to underestimate him. Then he snaps his fingers for the next move. His bodyguards emerge from the shadows to assist. Qingquan charges into battle without hesitation. She defeats each opponent with cold precision. Her eyes and demeanor now show seriousness, no longer weakness. He realizes she has awakened a high-tier class, no longer the fragile girl she was. Outside, the dorm scenery turns chaotic. Ting reflects that even genius Yu Peng only reached the master level. Meanwhile, Qingquan advanced to Grandmaster in just 5 years, proving her organization's power. She softly says she won't kill him because he once helped her. Inwardly, she resolves on something firm. Qingquan drops the dagger to the floor. Suddenly, she pulls him close and kisses him. Later at a hotel, seeing blood on the bed, Ting is shocked and admits he misjudged her. Afterward, he searches for Qingquan but hears she died, unable to believe a grandmaster could fall so easily. Ting believes the mysterious organization is responsible and vows revenge. He begins investigating but finds all traces of the group erased. At the same time, he keeps seeking immortal cultivation methods. After 2 years, though no results, his body reaches perfect body training realm. At home, he warns his sister Nianan not to enter any dungeon that year. She asks in confusion, not understanding his reason. He only sighs silently, unsure how to explain. The next year, the system reports Nianan entered a dungeon and died, leaving Ting numb. He starts investigating her death and finds clues linked to the Demon Suppression Pass dungeon. Despite searching everywhere, all information about the Demon Suppression Pass remained erased. He suddenly recalled that his friend Yu Yan also died at that same time. The bad news shocked him. He couldn't believe Yu Peng was gone too. He continued investigating and noticed something suspicious behind the death. Eventually, he found Yu Yan also died in the Demon Suppression Pass, along with many classmates that year. That dungeon was like a slaughterhouse endlessly consuming players' lives. Ting grew doubtful, unable to understand why so many perished there. Moreover, those with professions seemed forced into the Demon Suppression Pass, prompting him to simulate again to investigate. In the new simulation year, he sold off low-grade gear and stockpiled recovery potions. Thanks to his business skills, he became a tycoon among low-tier merchants in the capital. Yet he stayed cautious, knowing a catastrophe would strike the continent in 4 years, and began preparing. He tried warning the powerful, but no one believed him. All efforts failed. With no other choice, Ting decided to protect himself. He liquidated domestic assets, bought land abroad, and emigrated to America with his parents and fortune. There, the United States, a mighty nation with countless top professions, operated under a system entirely different from the old continent. Strange professions like Makazong were mentioned as unique classes. Roles such as werewolves or Western cowboys also existed in this profession system. A year passed, and as the 5th year neared, 5 colossal monsters appeared, forcing him to act to avert disaster in America. On the destined day, a giant demon covered the sky and sun over the U.S. Countless experts leaped to attack but committed suicide before its overwhelming power. Ting realized this might not be the only monster attacking the world. The system declared the demon's curse had wiped out all Americans. Ting died at age 36, ending the simulation. The reward options appeared: business talent or perfect body training cultivation. He extracted perfect body training cultivation for 500 energy, leaving 482, noting his power equaled only silver rank. Though business talent brought profit in simulation, it gave no aid in real combat. Meanwhile, perfect body training enhanced his limb strength, letting him gain gear and convert energy for simulations. His character panel listed current gear: green blood jade sword, green thorn armor, and green cloud belt. Ting wondered whether the fiery apocalypse 15 years later could be avoided. Unless human leaders already knew but couldn't find a solution. So they hid the information to prevent mass panic. Due to his immortal cultivator profession, his interface differed, only allowing cultivation-related skills. His current power exceeded average silver rank, yet remained far from the peak. He concluded he must keep improving his strength. A week later, he considered buying another simulation chamber costing 400,000 Great Xia Yuan. The system updated, consuming 300 energy, leaving 1,782. Simulation initiated and asked whether to extract white or green talent. Ting agreed to extract a white talent. Result: gained white talent Zibu Ming Mu, making him secretly pleased by its potential. He analyzed that this skill allowed 1 day of manifestation after death to trace the killer. If used well, it could gather intel on enemies, so he needed more simulation chambers. The story continued as many grew stronger. Within a year, Ting helped his sister level up and earned 20 million swiftly. He never forgot Qingquan, taking missions while often helping her level and sending her calming chicken soup. One day, Qingquan came reporting she had been invited to join a mysterious organization. She pleaded with a sorrowful face that moved Ting's heart. He hugged her tightly, begging, "Don't go, Qingquan." Alone again, Ting worried she might be forced or kidnapped into that group. Sometime later, he met Wang Qingquan again after her disappearance, utterly shocked. He stepped forward, asking where she'd been all these years and if she was all right. She turned away, blushing and avoiding his gaze. Ting closed his eyes, feeling confused inside. Then he comforted her, saying if she didn't want to talk, they wouldn't mention it again. His eyes drifted under the pillow and found a strange object. It was a book titled Eternal Spring Art. Ting rejoiced as if finding treasure. This was truly a valuable cultivation manual. But only half of the book was in his possession. Despite non-stop training, after a month he remained at Qi Refining Level 1, frustrated and determined to break through. He refused to give up, balancing business with full dedication to studying the manual. When exhausted, he wondered if the issue was a lack of spiritual energy. Eventually, he realized the method was fine but lacking a spirit root, preventing progress. But with time in this life limited, he decided he must convince his sister and Yu Peng first. Ting returned home to protect Nian An, who had just graduated. The siblings enjoyed peaceful, happy days before disaster loomed. Officials came announcing Nian An had been summoned to enter the Demon Suppression Pass dungeon. He firmly refused, saying, "No, I won't allow you to go." Nian An softly called his name with worry. Ting shouted, demanding she obey him as her brother. Then an unexpected truth appeared before him, leaving him stunned. He was shocked to sense energy from his sister had reached Grandmaster level. Before leaving, Nian An reassured him, saying she was already a Grandmaster and the Demon Suppression Pass was mandatory, she'd return within a month. She even reminded him to save some fries for her. A month later, news of Nian An's death in the dungeon shattered Ting. He tried persuading Yu Peng again, but failed once more. The potion market kept fluctuating, and Ting profited greatly from trading. Realizing only 4 years remained, he sold all assets and poured everything into seeking mysterious energy. A year passed, but his efforts yielded nothing. A mysterious figure suddenly appeared before him. He stayed alert and asked the stranger's identity. The stranger taunted, "Want to talk to someone about to crush you?" He understood and grew cold and wary. Attacked suddenly, he sensed the opponent's incredible speed. The foe's reputation showed at least gold-rank strength, making him cautious. A kick came dangerously close. He grabbed the enemy's leg, proving his body refinement was no weaker. The attacker was shocked, unable to believe it. He flipped and threw the enemy away. Dust rose thickly around them. He stayed alert, wondering if it was over. But the opponent had slipped behind him unnoticed. The foe restrained him, mocking, "You call that a master?" The enemy struck his mental weakness, wounding his spirit. A bloody scene unfolded instantly. The foe had broken. His neck snapped, ending his life. Before dying, he activated his special talent, Zibu Ming Mu. The system reported the talent had triggered it wasn't true death. He muttered angrily, wanting to see what gave that man the right to kill him. In his fading vision, he saw the stranger seize the Eternal Spring secret art once given by Qing Quan, likely tied to an organization. The man stared intently at the manual, deeply intrigued. He finished Ting off with his sword, an act of sheer disdain. Simulation result, he only lost vision. The talent remained active. Simulation ended. After viewing it, he swore in rage to destroy that man sooner or later. The system suggested a new white talent, die without closing eyes, costing 1,000 energy. He was horrified, realizing he might have truly died in the apocalypse by that mysterious killer. New notice: renting the Eternal Spring art costs 3,000 energy. It's a basic immortal method that extends life and speeds energy absorption. With 3,000 points, he could convert several 100,000 wen of white gear into energy. If he didn't choose die without closing eyes, he might uncover what happens after the apocalypse and who caused it. Next simulation, Eternal Spring could be scanned. Skipping it might lose the chance forever. System update: bringing back the die without closing eyes talent from simulation costs 1,000 energy. With 782 points left, he knew he must earn more and vowed to retrieve Eternal Spring next time. He kept making money for growth, luckily aided by many female followers. Before entering the dungeon, he asked if they understood the rules. One girl said she was ready and praised how cool he looked. He calculated. An average white gear converts to 5 energy points, while even the cheapest costs 1 to 2,000 wen. He needed at least that much money. With one swing, he crushed the pack of beasts. His followers gasped, praising his majestic power. They crowded around, begging, "Senior, let us join you." Meanwhile, he forced a faint smile. Ting trembled at the thought of profits that could make him rich fast. For his family and friends, he resolved to pursue the cultivation path. His eyes flashed with iron determination. The system notified, "You gained white talent, calm waters." Though turmoil brews inside, your appearance remains calm. Common term: list of statuses. Ting cursed, demanding a refund and calling the system a scam. The system ignored him, and the next year he led his juniors to grind monsters daily. Seeing their fair skin and curves, he was tempted yet kept a composed demeanor. When Qing Quan invited him to a dungeon, he subtly reminded her to keep distance due to the earlier room purchase. As before, Qing Quan again received an invitation from the mysterious organization. His advice failed. That night they experimented with something new. Tu Ting blushed, recalling that embarrassing room purchase. Qing Quan nestled close, calling him by intimate names. News followed. The next day, Qing Quan dropped out, and a year later, he also failed to graduate due to weakness. He left school, reopened the Tarot Club, and continued trading old goods while waiting for Qing Quan's return. One day, as predicted, Qing Quan came back and left the Eternal Spring Art book. They spent a passionate night together. The Eternal Spring Art began absorbing energy. But Tu Ting was disappointed, still unable to cultivate, so he kept seeking spiritual energy. The story continued. For a year, he couldn't stop his sister from entering the Demon Suppression Pass dungeon. A month later, he received news of her death. The following year, Yupang also perished. That year, he invested all capital in medicine, planning to save money and migrate to America. He avoided mysterious preachers and pointless talk. Then, Tu Ting received a call reporting new information about spiritual energy. The report said in Jinling City, Jiangnan Province, a Grand Master possessed a treasure called Spirit Stone. He rejoiced, ordering gifts prepared and promising to go immediately. Tu Ting drove off into the night toward the destination. Joy was written all over his face. He thought if he obtained the Spirit Stone, no other treasure would matter. Yet before the exchange occurred, that man's acquaintance had already found him. Tu Ting was shocked to face that enemy again at the fateful moment. He died at age 33, his eyes destroyed, his talent fading with death. Seeing the report, Tu Ting angrily raised his middle finger as the screen showed simulation over. The system displayed reward options: Calm Water's Talent and Eternal Spring Art. Without hesitation, he chose to learn the Eternal Spring Art. The message said bringing out the technique cost 3,000 energy, leaving only 182 points. Changchun Gong is a famous method of Qingyun realm. Even half lost, it can reach core formation and extend lifespan. Tu Jing carefully read each level, from spiritual healing to unity with nature, far beyond previous cultivation books. He began meditating, eyes closed, sensing spiritual energy flowing through his body. The airflow surrounded Tu Jing's body. He smiled at the energy in his hand, knowing immortality was meaningless in the coming 15-year apocalypse. With the technique and clue of spirit stones, the next simulation could let him truly start cultivation. But since spirit stone value was unknown, he needed to save energy. 800,000 credits only gave 4,000 points. Without stones, he'd be stuck. At that moment, Yu Biao rushed in saying Lao Liu was looking for Tu Jing. He scolded Yu Biao for being noisy and warned not to break the door. Yu Biao apologized shyly. Tu Jing's eyes lit up, asking Yu Biao to lend him some money. Yu Biao sighed about being broke, and Tu Jing pressed him to say how much he could lend. He handed his bank card, said it had 5 million, told him to spend carefully, and gave his birthday as the password. Tu Jing was touched by his friend's kindness. Yu Biao waved it off, saying 5 million meant nothing since Tu Jing was his brother. Tu Jing's question froze the air. What day is your birthday again? Yu Biao instantly regretted it and tried to take the card back. Seeing his anger, Tu Jing slipped away, saying he'd find Liu Shudong first. He was now in teacher Shudong's office. Meeting him, Tu Jing asked why he was called, and the teacher inquired about his cultivation progress. He sighed, saying no progress yet, but hoped to reach silver rank soon. Shudong mentioned academy quotas, implying his cultivation was too weak. Tu Jing saw the real intent and asked the teacher to speak frankly. The teacher sternly suggested he withdraw voluntarily to save the school's face. Inwardly, Tu Jing mocked the selfish motive and firmly refused. He smiled and politely declined, saying he wanted to stay for the good environment. He knew the academy still had many resources he could use. The teacher offered compensation if he agreed to leave. The 500,000 offer left Tu Jing shocked and conflicted. He further tempted him with a security job at his residence, saying it suited his current ability. Jing recalled how the teacher once begged him to enroll, offering 3 million. He still held that grudge and felt insulted by the guard job offer. He politely refused, saying he wished to keep studying and cultivating there. Dong grew angry, mocking that he'd become a burden and shame to the school. Jing calmly thanked him and said softly, "The teacher's 500,000 was nothing compared to his friend's 5 million. Dong was left speechless in fury. Just then, his phone notified that 4,000 white-grade equipment items were being delivered. He was overjoyed, thinking once he had the gear, he'd be ready for the next simulation. A week later, Jing pressed start, determined to bring spirit stones out at any cost. The system announced he gained the talent gentle bald head, making others trust him despite early hair loss. Jing touched his head and saw his hair still intact. But as he stroked it, handfuls of hair fell, leaving him stunned. Feeling his thinning scalp, Jing panicked at the bizarre talent. The screen instantly filled with hair loss and scalp care ads. Products like hair tonic, black sesame powder, and herbal shampoo appeared non-stop. A mocking message said his thinning hair lowered his appearance value. Because of his looks, he gradually lost chances to meet female juniors. Seeing his bald reflection, Jing despairingly decided to shave it all. Strangely, once bald, his combat power soared and one punch could slay monsters. Beyond imagination, his super bald hero image earned 30 million and fame as the one-punch saint. In the next simulation, Qing Quan still sent the old half of the technique to Jing. He refused, saying he only sought the missing half of Changchun Gong. Qingquan quit school again, and the simulation seemed to mirror his real thoughts. Jing began suspecting the system could read his mind in reality. He noticed Qingquan's, Yu Biao's, and the dropout events all matched the past. In the simulation, after Nian An and Yu Biao left, his gentle looks helped him thrive in business while using the Tarot Guild to search for spirit stones. He ordered subordinates to report any spirit stone news immediately. One day, a report said a grandmaster in Jinling possessed a treasure called Spirit Stone, delighting Jing. In reality, he was thrilled too, believing he'd meet the master and find a real path to cultivation. A female staff offered him tea, saying the host would arrive soon. At that moment, someone entered and asked, "Are you Jing?" The woman introduced herself as Jin Song Shui. She looked at his bald head, saying it had a Buddhist charm. Jing awkwardly replied he only knew a little. After 7 days, the simulation activated a charm skill on Song Shui, and they became close like confidants. Jing was excited, finally understanding the true power of his talent. Song Suk took out a box with 3 spirit stones worth 300 million total. Jing immediately agreed to buy them all. She smiled, offering a friendly discount to 30 million, and he gratefully accepted. After that, Jing entered seclusion to cultivate. When finished, he opened his eyes, gaze sharp and full of spiritual energy. He calculated that half a spirit stone raised him to Qi refining level 2, keeping the rest for later use. In reality, his eyes shone with spiritual root, technique, and stones complete. Cultivation was within reach. Songshu brought in a tray of food, kindly asking if he wanted to eat after 3 days of seclusion. Jing nodded, saying he had something more to ask her. She said those spirit stones came from a dungeon called Qingyun Spirit Field. Besides the stones, she brought back spiritual rice, the very food he was eating. Jing was shocked to learn it was true spiritual food. He realized there were dungeons focused on cultivation, meaning spirit stones might no longer be rare. In the simulation, he urgently asked for that dungeon's location. Songshu said it appeared west of Jinling in November 2023 and lasted only 7 days. He quickly calculated today was October 7th, 2023, so he still had time to enter Qingyun Spirit Field. She sighed that the dungeon's NPCs said she lacked cultivation talent and missed her fate, shocking Jing. He smiled confidently, knowing he had talent others didn't. After the simulation, he realized the dungeon's true treasure wasn't spirit stones, but destiny itself. Jing started another simulation to see what else he could gain. In the next scene, he diligently cultivated, mastering his technique further. As he was content, Songjue came to say goodbye. In the simulation, Tujing hurriedly asked why she was leaving and about a place called Demon Suppression Pass. She answered the front lines were tense, and as a grandmaster, she had to fight there. He couldn't understand why everyone around him headed for that place. It seemed both friends and relatives were connected to Demon Suppression Pass. He tried to keep Songjue from leaving, asking her to explain it clearly, making her hesitate. Finally, she nodded and softly said it was fine to tell him. His activated talent made his awkwardness increase her affection. She said Demon Suppression Pass guarded humanity's survival against a powerful force. Now the situation there was extremely dire. He pressed to know who the enemy was, but Songjue shook her head, keeping it secret. She said she'd leave the Tarot Guild to others and bid him farewell. A month later, he attended Songshu's funeral. Feeling empty, he only wished to grow stronger. He asked how much wealth remained. The secretary said about 5 billion. He decided to sell all his assets. The secretary was shocked by his decisiveness. He converted everything into body-refining items and left the house Songjue once built. He planned to use them to break through the bone-refining stage, wondering what he still lacked. A demonic beast suddenly appeared behind him. He stayed calm, knowing the moment had come. The monster opened its jaws, revealing sharp fangs. He raised his hand, vowing someday to devour it instead. Before the giant beast, his figure looked small and pitiful. The system announced the talent Die Unwilling was activated. In reality, he was stunned by the vision. In the simulation, he panicked as the monster swallowed him whole. Inside was a vast stomach cavity. Those swallowed ran, screaming desperately from the corrosive fluids. Anyone touching it was completely dissolved. He too was corroded, his eyes digested, his talent nullified. In reality, he sweated in terror at the horrifying scene. The system offered rewards: energy, cultivation, spirit stone, or item. You rejoiced as you brought a spirit stone into the real world. Calculations showed its value was only about 1,000 energy points. The system offered to reclaim the low-grade spirit stone at a dirt-cheap price. You angrily cursed the deceitful system. You lamented that this world profits from others' suffering. Then you began a new stage of cultivation. Seeing the remaining spirit stones, you estimated each could sustain half a month's practice. You kept 2 stones to test your own hypothesis. You resolved to grind dungeons for money, buy more simulations, and stock up on stones before the secret realm opened. A week later, your body was exhausted and spirit completely drained. Even so, you earned over 500,000, enough for the next purchase. You activated another simulation ready for a new round. You worried your spirit stone theory might be wrong, but chose to try anyway. The system started and granted the white talent Gym Expert, boosting physical strength. You were surprised to find the talent focused on body refinement. Looking at the half-spirit stone, you wondered why. You decided to begin cultivation immediately. A month later, by day, you led female teammates on money missions. In spare time, you absorbed spiritual energy, quickly reaching Qi refining level 4. You received a call urging you to buy a train ticket to Jinling. The Qingyun Spirit Field secret realm was about to open. Pulling your suitcase to the station, you recalled Songshu's words that the dungeon lay in the West Gate Park. By theory, you were already close to the destination. You thought maybe it required Songshu's presence to open. A woman's voice behind told you to step aside. You turned and were shocked to see her. It was Songjue at about 30 years old. You admitted she had been cold and proud 7 years ago. Believing only Songshu could guide the way, you decided to follow her. But when you turned back, she had vanished. While searching, Songshu suddenly appeared behind you. She held a sword to you, questioning why you followed her. You hastily explained, claiming you had seen her on the school's honor board. She confirmed you were a student of Capital University. You pretended to ask about Buddhism to start conversation, making her lower her sword. She blushed slightly and invited you to ask your question. You seriously asked, which came first, the chicken or the egg, leaving her stunned. She inwardly smiled, thinking you were discussing deep philosophy. Songshu said they'd talk along the way and guessed you were also headed to Jinling. You asked to travel together and she readily agreed. The two of you entered the newly opened dungeon. You were amazed by the wondrous scenery. It was truly Qingyun Spirit Field. The spiritual energy was so dense only cultivators could endure it. While exploring, you pointed out a thatched hut ahead to Song Shui. She stepped forward, telling you to stay since your cultivation was still weak. Song Ye gently knocked on the wooden door a few times. She softly called out to ask if anyone was inside. A wave of rich spiritual energy flowed out. An old man appeared, saying this was the Juan family's secret realm, open only to those with fate. You quietly cheered to your senior, both happy and cautious as the old man warned vigilance. The old man assigned them to tend 2 plots of spirit fields and care for spirit grain. If they did well, both would receive a precious opportunity. Song Zug took the tools and you curiously examined their special powers. The elder wished them success and said he'd return in 7 days to inspect. Once the door closed, she panicked, never having farmed before. You rolled up your pants and guided her to start working the field. She was surprised and you revealed your rural background and farming skills. She placed her trust in you and promised to repay the favor someday. You smiled lightly, saying it was nothing worth mentioning. Under your care, the spirit grain grew rapidly and vigorously. Songshu's attitude gradually became warmer toward you. You noticed your wood element technique made the fields flourish abnormally fast. While meditating, you channeled spiritual energy directly into the crops. The spirit fields turned lush green, brimming with vitality. Thanks to your effort, you broke through to Qi Refining Level 5, filled with excitement. After 7 days, the old man returned to check the results. He praised the harvest as exceeding expectations. He handed the reward pouch to Song Shui, who thanked him repeatedly. You calculated the reward was richer thanks to your assistance. Suddenly, Song Shui vanished before your eyes, startling you. The old man calmed you, saying she was merely transported out of the dungeon. Spiritual energy surrounded you both as he told you to place your hand on the orb. You both touched the orb filled with colorful 5-element spiritual roots. The elder observed and said your roots were mixed, making immortality difficult. You knelt, begging to become his disciple. He refused, saying your aptitude was too poor to qualify. You asked what kind of root was needed to study under him. He replied that at least dual spiritual roots were required. You memorized that condition, silently repeating dual spiritual roots. Realizing you only had white-grade talent, you aimed to draw a green spiritual root next. The elder gave you a gift bag of spirit stones and spirit rice, telling you to focus on cultivation. You bowed in thanks. The venerable smiled and waved goodbye before leaving. The system continued the simulation. 2 years later, Nianan joined the army and died. 3 years after that, Yu Biao also enlisted. You felt helpless, unable to change their fates. A year later, you gained a vast fortune from market fluctuations. Eventually, you reunited with Song Shui after many years apart. You expressed your wish to buy all her spirit stones regardless of cost. She flatly refused, saying she didn't need money. But she proposed a personal condition instead. You were stunned as she took the initiative physically. An intimate and ambiguous scene unfolded in the simulation. A month later, Song Shui tiredly admitted her wish was fulfilled and she had no more regrets. Then she was sent on a mission and killed, the news leaving you speechless. 4 years passed and the colossal beast from before reappeared. You died at age 36, the simulation ended, and the system prompted a reward selection. You realized this time there was no spirit rice reward, making a bone-refining breakthrough impossible. So you decided to save resources for later. You chose to exchange for spirit stones, gaining 40,000 energy points. Your total assets could only convert to 2,000 points, still severely lacking. You decided to borrow money from friends to cover the deficit. You called Yu Biao, who was about to enter a dungeon, and asked in surprise what was wrong. You hesitantly asked to borrow money due to hardship, and Yu Biao laughed, asking how much. You blurted out 100 million, shocking him. Yu Biao cursed jokingly, agreeing to lend at most 50 million, not a cent more. Soon after, your account showed a transfer. You gratefully thanked your close brother. Counting old debts, you now had 55 million and invested in 50,000 white items to test your luck. Knowing the real Qingyun spirit field would open next month, you had 4 simulations left to gather spirit stones and spirit rice, determined to seize the chance for apprenticeship. A week later, you eagerly started the system to test your luck. You chose to draw a green grade talent. The system congratulated you on gaining a green talent longevity 100 years. You groaned that living long without strength was useless for cultivation. The simulation ended. Though disappointed, you still gained 10 spirit stones, so it wasn't a loss. A week later, you sincerely prayed to the system to draw a true green spiritual root. The system announced, green grade talent, sword Dao genius. You were furious not a sword cultivator, yet always drew wrong type talents. After the simulation, you chose spirit rice as compensation. In the next round, you again prayed to heaven and earth to get a true green spiritual root. You fully hoped for the correct green grade talent. Starting the simulation, you sighed in disappointment at the result. The system congratulated, green grade talent, face like Guanxi. You wanted to throw the system away, thinking good looks were useless for cultivation. Description appeared. Your beauty was so extraordinary it even stirred the system's heart. Seeing the system's shy message, you got goosebumps and felt uneasy. In the next simulation, you appeared with an unbelievably dazzling appearance. Even looking in the mirror, you were amazed at your own handsomeness. Inside the secret realm, the battle raged on. You kept bravely slashing monsters non-stop. You warned teammates to aim for the beast's eyes if caught by their gaze. Your subordinates, entranced by your looks, obeyed while stealing glances at you. You sighed, reminding them to focus this was a battle, not a date. A girl named Qing Quan hid behind a rock, calling you with admiration. You laughed, saying it was the 278th time she'd been caught staring. You held up a mirror, it gleamed so brightly it reflected the words, "Invincible Handsome." Your presence stirred the entire dungeon into excitement. Many girls asked to team up, and even entertainment companies invited you to be a star. Some teased, asking if you wanted to skip 20 years of hard work. You immediately ran off using busyness as an excuse to avoid trouble. Hiding in your room, you heard countless voices calling outside your door. You sighed, lamenting that being too handsome was truly suffering. You decided it was better to stay secluded in the dorm and focus on cultivation. The simulation continued. On November 18th, 2023, you arrived in Jinling. As planned, you happened to meet Song Shui again. She greeted you first and invited you for a drink, saying it was fate. You were speechless, regretting all the useless Buddhist studies you'd done. Just then, an elder approached, praising your outstanding looks, leaving you stunned. In the simulation, your appearance moved him, and though tempted to take you as a disciple, he hesitated due to your weak aptitude. He only gifted extra spirit stones, hoping your beauty would last forever. In reality, you sighed that the world now judged only by appearance hopeless. The system ended the simulation, offering a choice of talent, cultivation, spirit stone, or item. You stared blankly, blaming the lustful system. The system, bewitched by your looks, granted an extra use of the face-like Guanxi talent. You happily accepted, considering it profit, hoping next time to draw dual spiritual roots. You chose spirit stones as your reward to save up. A week later, you reactivated the face-like Guanxi talent. This time, your appearance shone with blinding brilliance. You pleaded with the system, using your charm to request a good talent draw. You even blew it a kiss in prayer. This time, you felt fully confident about the result. The system fulfilled your wish. Green-grade talent, dual-element spiritual roots of wood and fire. Now you were no longer a weak mixed root cultivator, but could practice dual-element techniques. You were overjoyed, finally obtaining a green-grade spiritual root. The new simulation began, and your cultivation process started smoothly. You noticed it took only 1 day to absorb a spirit stone, proving your powerful talent. After a week, your cultivation soared to Qi refining level 5, your energy overflowing. As planned, you met Song Shui again in the new simulation. You and Song Shui once more received a mission from the same old man. After completion, only you were kept behind. The elder judged your aptitude unusual with potential to step into true cultivation. He said wood affinity aided spirit fields, while fire suited alchemy. You immediately knelt, begging to become his disciple. He pondered. Saying you started cultivation too late and missed the best timing, you asked what realm you'd reach under normal conditions. He replied, at least the golden core stage. You realized that to become his disciple, you had to reach golden core before the real Qingyun spirit field opened. You kept training hard as the elder taught you to infuse energy into a jade slip to view its contents. Following his instructions, you discovered it was a rare cultivation method. You swore to master it before the apocalypse came. After 6 years in the simulation, you mastered the Sheneng spirit nurturing technique and grew 1,000 catties of low-grade spirit rice. After eating the rice, the spiritual energy in your body surged greatly. Your physical cultivation broke through to the bone-refining stage. You happily brought the bags of spirit rice to Song Shu, asking to trade for 20 spirit stones. She seductively pressed close, saying she'd rely on you for the coming month. You felt the world darken, an ominous feeling rising. A giant monster appeared before you, and you awoke in terror. It was that same beast again. The system offers rewards including dual spiritual roots, cultivation levels, spirit rice, immortal arts, and huge energy costs. You're surprised to see even enlightenment can be exchanged. Seeing a technique costing 1 billion points, you admire its power as the system reaffirms all exchange values. You calculate that the technique could be requested from the old man, but giving up dual roots would waste this fate. The system announces you obtained dual woodfire spiritual roots. Checking reveals the new roots replace the old white ones in your body. Curious, you confirm and sigh in relief it's truly replaced. Luckily, it's only slightly stronger. One last simulation remains before the instance opens. You must reach the Golden Core realm this time. A week later at the airport, coinciding with the instance's opening, you simulate on the plane. As the plane takes off, Tuo Jing activates the simulation system. The system reports, "Congratulations, white talent acquired resolute face. This talent makes others see you as a righteous gentleman, inspiring trust." After landing, he continues to meet Song Shui. Activating resolute face, he makes Shui Song blush, finding him trustworthy. She suddenly invites him along, and Tuo Jing gladly agrees. The system reports, "You've completed the old man's wish mission." The Venerable asks, "You only want 1,000 spirit stones, not a master?" He respectfully replies, "Yes, Venerable One." The elder hands him the pouch and leaves, saying his cultivation is insufficient and won't be forced. The simulation continues. He cultivates in a spiritual land as Nian An, Yu Yan, and Song Shui die one by one. After long absorbing spiritual energy, 1,000 spirit stones run out, ending his seclusion. His cultivation reaches Foundation Stage 9, just short of Golden Core, but the stones are gone. The system declares the simulation ended. Tojing frowns at the final scene. The system shows rewards: Resolute Face Talent, 1,000 PTs, or Foundation Stage 9, 9,800 PTs. He feels regret stopping at Stage 9. In the simulation, he couldn't advance due to no spirit stones. But in reality, Qingyun Spirit Field's aura is abundant, exciting him. He calms himself. It's his first time meeting Song Shui in person. "Stay calm. I once mastered the 10 hardest Buddhist problems," he reminds himself. Spotting her figure from afar, Tuo Jing happily thinks, "She's here." That gentle, elegant figure is the one he seeks, Song Shui. It's hard to believe Song Shu is now 30. Tuo Jing approaches, introducing himself as someone who saw her on the school's expert board. She hurriedly replies, "Sorry, I'm in a rush." He recalls he currently has no talent, just a stranger to her. He desperately pleads, "Senior, talk to me, please talk to me." Song Shu turns back, puzzled about what's happening. Tojing bends to pick up a pile of books, sighing their precious ancient texts he just found. She immediately notices and asks if he studies Buddhism. He smiles shyly, saying it's just a small passion, nothing compared to the senior's knowledge. Xusong is surprised how he knew she liked Buddhism. Tojing cleverly says he read her thesis in the library. She happily agrees to travel together, saying since fate brought them, they should go to Jinling together. Tuojing obediently agrees to her words. He feels excited inside, just waiting for the instance to appear. They chat while walking. She teases that he once fought over arguing about Buddha Shakyamuni, and he blushes, saying he lost control. In his heart, he senses the instance is about to reveal itself. Tojing stops and points light glows under an ancient tree, forming a secret realm gate. She realizes it's a temporary instance. He rejoices finally, a real-world instance to experience. This time, he resolves to successfully take a master. Song Zekik worriedly warns him not to be reckless, as temporary instances are dangerous. He smiles confidently, saying he has his senior to protect him. She blushes slightly, reminding herself to stay composed, and answers firmly. She warns that no matter what happens, he must not leave her. Tuo Jing nods in agreement. He is awestruck by the scenery. Seeing Qingyun's spirit field in person is far different from the simulation. The dense spiritual energy convinces him he can break through here. Song Shui cautions him not to be careless. As many calm-looking instances hide danger, he asks if they should enter the nearby hut. From the hut emerges the venerable he once met, calling out to them. The elder asks in surprise how they found his secluded dwelling. Song Shu explains they entered by chance upon seeing a 7-colored gate. The old man praises their deep fate and offers them an opportunity. She gratefully bows in thanks. The venerable says he needs someone to tend the spirit field and asks if they'd help. Tuo Jing immediately nods in agreement. He whispers to his senior that the old man is kind, only asking for farming, though it's just a temporary instance. She skeptically asks if he knows farming. He laughs, saying he's from the countryside. Farming is routine for him. He goes alone into the field, starting to clear weeds. Then he carries water to irrigate the spirit grain fields. Next, he channels spiritual energy into the field, helping the crops grow vigorously. Song Shu approaches, asking why the venerable's trial involves such strange farming. Could there be cultivation principles hidden within it? He smiles, saying there's no need to overthink. It's a place rich in aura. Farming here trains the mind, and harder tasks bring greater rewards. She still doubts the value of the reward. Only Tuo Jing understands that while useless to most, it's entirely different for him. Because this place is worth more than 10,000 spirit stones. When the venerable inspects the field, he is stunned by the sight before him. 7 days later, Song Shui still diligently tends the spiritual fields. Suddenly, a loud explosion erupts behind her. Tuo Jing has successfully refined a golden pearl. Blue brilliance flashes within his eyes. The pearl enlarges, merging with the spiritual power in his dantian. He exclaims joyfully that he's reached the peak of foundation stage, just one step from golden core. Song Shui rushes over in panic, and he reassures her that he's fine. The venerable is surprised to realize he's a cultivator and asks which attribute he follows. He awkwardly replies he just learned a technique by chance and doesn't know his attribute. The elder grows more impressed by his talent. The venerable takes out a spirit stone, telling him to place his hand on it to test his roots. Tuo Jing grows nervous. This marks the start of his apprenticeship path. The elder says he has dual woodfire roots, not rare but suitable, especially for alchemy. The elder recognizes his cultivation art as the Changchun Gong of Changchun sect, limited but excellent for beginners, especially with wood affinity, fitting for spirit farming. Tuo Jing trembles with excitement, feeling the pivotal moment has come. The venerable smiles, introducing himself as Qingyun Zi, spirit field caretaker of Qingyun sect, and asks if he wishes to be his disciple. He immediately kneels and bows, becoming a registered disciple. The elder says he'll give some initiation gifts. The first gift is the immortal art Shenong spirit nurturing technique, his 1,000-year research still incomplete. He praises Tuo Jing's farming talent, saying if he masters it, he'll gain status across the 3,000 worlds. Tuo Jing gratefully thanks his master. He joyfully accepts, thrilled to gain 100,000 precious energy points. The elder grants a second gift, a 3-inch portable blessed land for cultivation anywhere. Tuo Jing is shocked. Could his master be giving him the entire temporary instance? The elder channels spiritual energy into his forehead. Inside the small blessed land lies 100 jang hill full of aura, ideal for cultivation and spirit farming. Tuo Jing clasps his hands in gratitude. The elder smiles, presenting the third gift, Qingyun token, proof of his registered disciple identity of high rank. When you reach the void separation realm, you may officially enter the sect, then come to Qingyun sect's world, the elder says. Tuo Jing's long-held dream of apprenticeship is finally fulfilled. Qingyun sect is the righteous sect he always yearned for. He quietly gazes at the token in his hand, heart filled with emotion. He asks his master about alchemy techniques since he's never learned any. The elder replies he's not specialized in alchemy, but has something useful. Then he gives him the Earthfire Alchemy Manual, detailing 360 alchemy methods for study. Tuo Jing gladly accepts, thinking with this both cultivation and profit will be easy. The Venerable warns that too many arts cause confusion. Changchun Gong alone can reach the void separation realm. So master it first before seeking him again. After speaking, the Venerable turns into light and departs. Tuo Jing calls out desperately, saying his version of the art is incomplete and can't reach void separation. He wonders whether his master is testing him or forgot on purpose. Either way, finding the second half of Changchun Gong becomes his new mission. At night's quiet, Song Yu's voice calls his name. She waits outside the barrier as he steps out into the late night. Tuo Jing smiles, saying he has something to discuss with her. He proposes exchanging 50 jin of spirit rice for 50 spirit stones from her. She shyly accepts, saying she should share since her reward was thanks to him. He feels awkward, unsure how to respond. Song Shu softly says if he's embarrassed to take gifts, then come back to the city with her. He blurts out a yes. They return to the hotel, the large room warmly lit by candles. She wears a charming red dress, raising her wine glass to ask if he came to Jinling seeking someone or something, offering her help. Sweat glides down her fiery body, making the scene even more seductive. He immediately shuts his eyes, not daring to look. At that moment, the system announces 7 days of instance time have ended, start a new simulation. Tuo Jing realizes instance time flows parallel to reality. He quickly excuses himself to the restroom. She only nods slightly. As he leaves, Song Shui shyly checks the mirror, mumbling that she wore the wrong color underwear. Meanwhile, Tuo Jing focuses solely on starting a simulation, gaining a green talent, Mr. Great Strength. This talent greatly enhances his physique and strength. He wonders if, now with a master, the apocalypse will still come. Not seeing him return, Song Shui knocks, calling through the door. She begins to worry something might have happened. He hurriedly opens the door, assuring her he's fine. She blushes in relief, saying she thought he had an accident. He smiles, thanking her concern. They dine by candlelight. She advises him to bathe and rest, but he focuses on eating, saying they'll talk after. Suddenly, her hand brushes his, making his heart race. She softly says, "Perhaps they can eat later." Then she leans in, pushing him down as things turn intimate. The system records Yu and Song Shui spent a joyful week in Jinling City. A week later, Tuo Jing leaves the hotel exhausted, marveling at Song Shu's stamina. He nearly needed tonics. But at least now he can start a new simulation again. He presses start, entering the Qingyun mini-secret realm granted by his master, confident that with spirit rice, cultivation will soar. He eats a bowl of soft white spirit rice, savoring its exquisite taste. That spreading aura sensation is unforgettable. In the simulation, he tends his portable blessed field daily. With his powerful physique, his appetite is several times normal. Each meal he finishes a full jin of spirit rice. With steady accumulation, he breaks through to the bone refinement realm. He recalls it once took 3 years to reach body tempering 5, yet now just a week to reach bone refinement 1, proof of the rice's extraordinary nature. Besides the spirit rice, the Mr. Great Strength talent also contributes. He resolves to bring it into reality. The system reports. His soaring cultivation speed absorbs him. He spends 3 watches daily cultivating, the rest training juniors in instances. Female students excitedly ask to join. "Senior, take us too." As his body tempering realm grows, his instance clear rate skyrockets. Many juniors flock to him. He meets Yu Yan and repays the money he once borrowed. Yu Yan happily praises his insane earning speed. The system reports he's amassed 50 million. Yu Yan recalls Qingquan messaging to meet in the forest tonight. He realizes she plans to drop out and join a secret cult again. This time you don't stop her, only warn Qingquan to stay safe. That night, the two test many new techniques in the forest. Tuojing rejoices at the progress and resolves to join the organization to find the original Changchun Gong. The simulation shows that after Qingquan leaves, you cultivate in the spirit field and, after 2 years, reach bone refinement stage 7. The next year, you advance to stage 9 of bone refinement. By the 4th year, your cultivation reaches perfection, but stalls. You deduce that to break through, higher-grade spirit crops are needed, following the Shenong spirit nurturing technique theory. You recall your master once mentioned leaving rare spirit seeds somewhere. After searching, you discover the pouch containing those seeds. Tuojing reads that it's white jade ginseng, which must be buried deep in the field for aura to circulate day and night. Reading that it must be unearthed after 10 years, he falls into despair. Tuojing rages, thinking 10 years is like the apocalypse, he'd die before reaping the reward. The simulation shows the white jade ginseng outlasts him, implying the plant might gain sentience from absorbing aura too long. Realizing animals might do the same, he releases chickens into the spirit field and feeds them spirit rice. Most die, but the survivors grow intelligent. While he's engrossed in raising them, Qingquan returns with the Changchun technique version suited to his talents. Tuojing refuses the technique, only asking to join her organization. Qingquan can introduce new members since she's now a grandmaster. He hugs her in thanks, and she bashfully tells him not to be so polite. At Descending Grace Sect, Qingquan leads him in, informing Ying Elder that Tuojing has arrived. A voice from the hall grants permission to enter. A fully covered figure asks his name. He replies respectfully, but feels uneasy in the gloomy place. Ying Elder invites him to sit, the hoarse voice making him question their gender. Qingquan serves tea to her senior. The elder says they'll first explain the sect's name and creed before he joins. Tuojing drinks tea, thanking them for the explanation. The next words make him choke. The sect, Descending Grace, seeks to exterminate humanity and let alien races rule. The creed deems humans inferior. Only alien beings are true gods. He's confused whether he's in a cultivation city or a demonic land. The elder offers a chance to withdraw, but he refuses to turn back. He accepts to sacrifice everything in exchange for the lower half of Changchun Gong. The elder replies it only requires a treasure or mission completion. He wonders if spirit rice counts as a treasure. Tuojing offers spirit rice, asking if it can be traded for the technique. The elder is shocked at the sight of the spirit rice. The simulation shows Ying Elder vanishing, replaced by someone leading him away. The new elder lashes him, demanding where he obtained the spirit rice. Even beaten brutally, he stubbornly refuses to speak. In the end, Xiangyang dies from torture at age 29. As he dies unjustly, his hidden power awakens. A follower asks the elder how to deal with the dying man. The elder steps on his face, mocking that he's unworthy of cultivation. The followers chant praises to the wise elder. The system signals unrested death status nullified. Simulation ended. Tuojing trembles upon recognizing the person who appeared. The system announces the simulation's end. He senses something strange. The person seems familiar. The screen displays reward options, including the green talent, Mr. Great Strength. They can be exchanged for energy or cultivation items at varying costs. Some rewards include spiritual chickens and high-level cultivation. Tuojing decides to claim the reward first and plan later. He regrets being able to choose only one prize. He selects the green-grade talent, Mr. Great Strength. With this power, he's sure to reach bone refinement next time. With little energy left, he must earn more to keep simulating. He asks Song Shui if she's free to meet soon. Tuojing goes to the hotel and waits in the lobby. She's surprised to learn he wants to sell 50 jin of spirit rice. He confirms and asks her to name a price. She realizes he's short on cash and offers him a loan. He bluntly asks if she can lend 50 million. She nods instantly, leaving him speechless. She reveals she's the heiress of the Buan Can Corporation, so money's no issue. He excitedly agrees to borrow a full 100 million. He asks her to use it to buy white-grade items, keeping the reason secret. He urges her to keep the spirit rice for cultivation, never to sell it. Inwardly, he fears Song Shui may draw the descending grace sect's attention. She smiles gently, agreeing to his request. Tuo Jing returns to his room exhausted, complaining to his roommate. Has now officially a debtor with a new goal. He wonders whether to sell spirit rice or spirit chickens for money. He decides to run another simulation to find a way out. The system starts a new simulation round. He draws a green talent, unyielding, granting extraordinary mental resolve. Tuo Jing is amazed that this talent directly strengthens the mind. The system continues. He decides to seek wealth through relics of his master Qing Yunzi. In the simulation, a tiny chick appears on his head. He reads the cloth's contents: 2 elixirs, fasting pill and youth preservation pill. He realizes both have business potential, one for weight loss, one for aging women. Determined, he chooses to refine both to test his luck. He builds a fire, adding wood to prepare for alchemy. First, the furnace must be preheated to stabilize the energy. When he ignites it, the furnace suddenly explodes in flames. A massive blast engulfs the entire area in fire. He realizes his mistake. He shouldn't have used a lighter, but the proper incantation. Leaf fire is the specialized flame for alchemy and must be properly controlled. The system records that you begin deep study of the leaf fire technique, aiming to change your fate. During that time, Wang Qingxuan once came to see you. After one night, she officially joined the descending grace sect. By the second year, you vaguely grasp control over leaf fire. From then on, you spend 6 hours a day deepening your comprehension. After 6 years of dedication, you finally master the leaf fire technique. This flame can burn creatures without harming the user and can even be used in combat. Tuo Jing rejoices at finally having a true offensive skill. He wonders how powerful pills made with this technique could be. Continuing the simulation, he becomes even more skilled in alchemy. In the 7th year, after his sister's funeral, he suppresses his grief to continue studying. In the alchemy room, Tuo Jing shouts to open the furnace, entering the critical stage. As the fasting pill forms, he's satisfied and moves on to the youth preservation pill. However, this pill is far more complex. After 3 years of effort, he finally succeeds. He swallows the pill, anxiously waiting for any change. Nothing happens, making him suspect failure. Then his stomach growls violently. The pain drains all color from his face. Tuo Jing panics, yelling as he rushes to find a restroom. He bolts off like lightning, incredibly fast. After finishing, a terrible stench fills the air. When done, Tuo Jing looks in the mirror to check himself. He freezes, his skin now smooth and youthful, completely different. He plans to refine more, fix flaws, and sell them to wealthy ladies. After completing the second batch, Tuo Jing gifts one to Song Shui. She skeptically asks if the pill truly restores youth. He firmly insists he's never lied to her. She immediately tests it by swallowing the pill on the spot. Tuo Jing panics, trying to stop her, but it's too late. Song Shu's skin begins changing color strangely. Soon her skin becomes firm and radiant. He hands her a mirror and she's utterly shocked. She realizes she's returned to her 20s while he proudly shows off the result. She instantly offers to buy all the pills, pricing them at 100 million each. The number leaves Tuo Jing speechless. She eagerly urges him to sell her the rest. Regretfully, Tuo Jing admits there are none left. She pleads about future production. He promises to research further. Afterward, Tuo Jing returns to the city university. Seeing him back, Qing Chuan is overjoyed. She runs up, excitedly calling out to her senior. Tuo Jing freezes upon seeing Qing Chuan before him. In the simulation, Qing Quan drops out again, and he lets her be. Years later, she becomes a renowned grandmaster. She brings him the upper half of the Changchun Gong technique. Tuo Jing refuses to learn the art, expressing his wish to join the descending grace sect. Qing Quan leads him to meet Ying Elder, who assigns him a mission. He listens carefully to grasp the details. The elder intends to send him with the temple guards, but Qing Quan asks to lessen the difficulty. He agrees, allowing her to personally arrange a suitable task for Tuo Jing. He wonders why she seems tense about this mission. They are assigned to Zhenyao Pass to cooperate with the demon clan. That night they bonded in drunken affection. She confides her fear that the mission might cost him his life. Tujing demands to know why she betrayed humanity to join the Descent sect. She replies that she has no way back. She softly says to rest, promising to take him to meet the other elders tomorrow. He calls out to Qingquan, but only silence answers. In the present, Tujing sighs in frustration for failing to gain more information. The next day, he visits the pharmacy to buy alchemy materials. Seeing ginseng prices soar, he gets angry while the shopkeeper laments the sudden rise in healing needs. He suspects it's connected to the actions of the Descent sect. In sorrow, the simulation records him studying a cheap version of Rich Lady's Happy Pill. After several days of testing, the alchemy furnace pops open, signaling success. Tujing rejoices he's refined beauty-nourishing pill without ginseng, enabling mass production. He decides to go to Jinling to share the good news with Song Shui. But upon arrival, he's stunned to see white wreaths at her door. He realizes in grief that her fated day has come. He stands silently before her coffin, eyes filled with sorrow. Leaving, he wonders when hell uncover the truth of the apocalypse. At that moment, the cold voice of Zong Elder calls him traitor from behind. Tujing turns to see him attacking and asks in shock why. The elder kills him, accusing him of belonging to the Jian family. The system announces Tujing's death, officially ending the simulation. Rewards appear: the talent unyielding, a spiritual chicken pet, the Li fire technique, and alchemy skill. He struggles to choose between steadfast will or the Li fire technique. Irritated, he jokes about wishing to take both rewards out at once. The system replies it can upgrade the simulation for 500,000 energy points. Version 2.0 allows 2 rewards and adjustable immersive simulation time. Tujing confidently thinks he has the talent wish fulfillment. He decisively spends 500,000 points, believing risk brings success. The system confirms the upgrade and asks him to choose rewards. He selects Unyielding and Li Fire Enlightenment as his main rewards. After deduction, only over 11,000 energy points remain, making him sigh at endless expenses. Tujing calls Songgak to sell 20 jin of spirit rice, but she coldly refuses. He stares at the dark phone, shocked by her blunt rejection. Soon after, the bank notifies him of a 20 million transfer with a message from the rich lady telling him to spend freely. Tujing feels touched and almost kneels, his heart racing at being spoiled. With money in hand, he plans to wait a week before starting a new simulation to bring more pills out. He wonders how Youngha'd look if he had taken beauty-nourishing pill back in college. He clicks to claim the reward on the system interface. The system announces he obtained a green talent Endless Luck, greatly boosting fortune wherever he goes. Tujing cheers in joy, calling it a lifetime treasure. The simulation restarts, and he focuses on gaining alchemy experience through hard training. With his lucky talent, this batch of chicks grows strong and high quality. 3 pills succeed, pure in color and radiating superior aura. With products ready, he quickly contacts regular customers. Hearing Tujing's call, Song Shui curiously asks what the mysterious gift is. He boasts it will bring her ultimate pleasure. Song Shui blushes and playfully says she'll come see him tonight. Hearing her sweet voice, Tujing realizes his slip and hurriedly explains. He proudly shares he made slimming and rejuvenation pills, asking their market value. In the simulation, Song Shui is amazed and decides to auction them at the Jian family's trade firm. The auction is lively, prices soaring from 1 to 3 million. Song Shui returns happily with piles of money, saying all sold out. Tujing stands stunned, feeling like he just won the jackpot. Lying among the money, he feels ecstatic, believing poverty is now behind him. He reflects that this must be the taste of financial freedom. As night falls, moonlight bathes the peaceful street, mirroring his inner joy. He rushes down the street dragging his luggage. To stay alive, Tujing decides to leave, thinking women risk all for beauty and that school is safer. In his haste, he trips over a rock on the road. Tujing falls into a pit where Qingquan waits. No matter how cautious, the road is still risky. She quickly dives in, pressing him beneath her. Qingquan teases, saying falling with a handsome guy is fate, and asks for his WeChat. He irritably says she should call the police instead. Another girl cheerfully rushes over, claiming the beauty pill is hers. Qingquen pulls Tu Jing up, scolding the rival as a slut and declaring he belongs to her. She then asks why she came, leaving him confused and thinking women are terrifying. He struggles to escape the girls, staying determined despite the trouble. Finally back in the dorm, he's exhausted but relieved to be safe. He tells himself to stop going out and focus on alchemy. In the simulation, Tu Jing trains hard. Stuck at the qi refining stage, he aims to break into the third major realm, and after hearing of his sister's tragic death, he immerses deeper in cultivation. The alchemy room suddenly explodes. He escapes the flames, realizing he must not rush in the refining mansion stage and should reread Qing Yunzi's Jade Slip. The notes say, 5 mansion pill strengthens internal organs and requires Huangxian crystal, a moisture-loving herb grown for 3 years. Tu Jing resolves to cultivate Huangxian crystal, thinking waiting 3 years is fine. 3 years later, he joyfully sees his spirit rice harvest, enough for alchemy, officially becoming a successful farmer. He begins heating Huangxian crystal with leaf fire to the proper temperature. A violent explosion occurs again. He coughs amid the smoke, complaining it's too difficult. Still, Tu Jing remains determined, treating failure as a lesson and gradually mastering the flame. He believes that with effort he could even craft gathering qi powder. Then why couldn't he refine the 5 mansion pill? Even so, it's not a loss since gathering qi powder boosts spiritual power, aiding alchemy. Time passes, and an unexpected visitor knocks on his door. He opens it to find a stranger who introduces himself as Song Ju's father. He steps aside to let the guest, Mr. Jian, enter, who says he came for 2 matters. The first shocks Tu Jing. Song Ju has passed away. Tu Jing quickly asks about the second matter. Jianxiong presents an item from Song Shu's belongings. Suspecting Tu Jing made it, he confirms it's a pill that suppresses hunger for 3 days. The man urgently asks to buy all remaining pills, while Tu Jing wonders about their purpose. Jianxiong hesitates briefly before explaining. Tu Jing sets a condition. Hell make more but wants the truth, insisting others deserve to know it too. Finally, Jianxiong admits the grave situation at Zhenyao Pass and the severe manpower shortage. He explains Tu Jing's pill allows Grandmaster-level professionals to skip meals for 3 days, saving time and returning to battle quickly. Tu Jing is stunned to realize humanity has no time left even to eat. He agrees to refine the pills, promising delivery in 3 days. Jianxiong thanks him and promises generous payment. While refining, Tu Jing wonders why everyone rushes to Zhenyao Pass as if seeking death. The simulation hints this is a chance to uncover the truth, so he decides to risk going deeper. On delivery day, Jianxiong brings a chest of gold, saying all funds have been converted into bars. Tu Jing refuses the payment, surprising the man who asks what he wants instead. Tu Jing requests a meeting with the military leaders of Great Xia. If granted, he'll donate all materials, and Jianxiong considers it. He says he can't promise but will relay the message. As the decision isn't his, Tu Jing thanks him, ending the talk. Later, when Jianxiong's car arrives, Tu Jing curiously asks the destination but is told hell no once aboard. Jianxiong carefully hands him a blindfold and asks him to wear it before entering the car. Tu Jing asks no more, ties the cloth, and follows willingly. Sitting inside, he feels anxious, but reminds himself it's just another simulation, bravely riding the luxurious car to an unknown place. The car stops, and the man announces they've arrived. Tu Jing removes the blindfold, uncertain if this is truly the place. He glances around and realizes the area is filled with the most powerful figures of Great Xia. A commanding voice invited him in, implying the speaker was a martial emperor and reminding that Tu Jing had wanted to meet them. Can Hung led Tu Jing inside, saying that was as far as he could take him. Tu Jing stepped through the giant gate into the inner area. Seeing the person before him, he was speechless and softly asked for their identity. That man was Liang Yuanwu, a senior leader of the Daxia military, who greeted him and mentioned the pill Tu Jing once made. Tu Jing was puzzled, hearing the name Bing Liang pill for the first time. Liang Yuanwu explained that in peace it was a slimming pill, but in wartime it was called the Bing Liang pill. Tu Jing sternly asked about the human world situation, but he replied that Tu Jing didn't need to know and that he came only to buy the recipe. He offered any price, but Tu Jing knew refining it required spiritual rituals, so even with the formula, they couldn't easily make it. So he proposed to give the formula for free, only asking to know the truth behind the disaster at Zhenyao Pass. He wanted to learn why his sister, friends, and Song Shui had died. Yuanwu agreed to tell him, but warned it was a secret to take to the grave. Tu Jing asked why so many students and teachers from Capital University were gathered there, and he replied it was the human fortress in Zhenyao Pass where all profession holders must fight. He wondered since his classmates were still weak, only at master level, not grandmaster. Liang Yuanwu confirmed his assumption. He said the situation at Zhenyao Pass was worsening, with most grandmasters already dead. Tu Jing is shocked, unable to believe his ears. Liang Yuanwu points ahead. The battlefield lies beyond the defenses, where his friends and kin have fallen. He advises Tu Jing to stay in the fortress and focus on alchemy, but worry still weighs heavily on his heart. Back in the alchemy room, the simulation continues, though he knows the truth. He feels no joy. He yearns to see the battlefield himself, to learn why everyone had to die. But he is under strict surveillance and forbidden to leave. When he asks to go out, the guards sternly refuse under orders. Rejected, he silently schemes, realizing he must find another way to escape. He manipulates the furnace, takes out a pill, and activates it. With 3 pills in hand, he feels proud for crafting the Mei Mei Dan in moments, affirming his own talent. Hearing noise, the guards outside panic, thinking Tu Jing is in danger. When they open the door, they face 3 Mei Dan pills and Tu Jing's cold voice. "Forgive me, gentlemen." The pills explode, releasing a spreading purple mist. The 2 guards weaken and collapse, unconsciously calling his name, unable to resist. Tu Jing finishes his preparations and decides to enter the shielded zone. He walks toward the defensive barrier without hesitation, each step firm. When the sight before him appears, Tu Jing freezes in astonishment. But unprepared, he faces the giant beast and shouts for everyone. A Taoist master orders, its weakness lies in the eyes blind the left one. The disciples obey and rush to attack. The plan fails as the beast's claws sweep the whole team away. The master hurriedly commands a retreat in 4 directions. The monster grabs one person, mocking their arrogance. The captive sneers back, saying the truly arrogant one is the beast. Suddenly, one of its eyes bursts, and it screams in agony. The master shouts for everyone to seize the chance. The beast erupts in fury, vowing to annihilate them all. Blind in both eyes, it still boasts that none can kill it. The old man swears vengeance for his fallen disciples. He directs his sword straight at the monster's weak point. The beast roars, calling the vile foe, wanting to die together with Ni. Its massive body falls backward heavily. Tu Jing watches in shock, realizing countless lives were lost for one beast. He wonders if Ni and An's group met the same fate. Behind him, voices cry out to protect the nation and honor the brave. Yuanwu sincerely advises, "Young man, go home, there's nothing left here." His words make Tu Jing realize Zhenyao Pass has fallen, and the beast's invasion is inevitable. He returns to his cultivation room, moving 2 fingers to activate the alchemy tools. Turning grief into resolve, he plans to craft a talisman pill to surpass the seal formation realm, delighting at the pill in his hand. The simulation continues. He eagerly swallows the pill. Instantly, he explodes on the spot amid a cloud of dust. The simulation ends, offering 2 rewards: green talent, talent shard, perfect bone segment, and the Li Huo manual with energy costs listed. He can't believe the result. He died from his own pill, not from furnace explosion. He recalls using Huangxian essence grown for 3 years on 1 acre. The talisman pill's potency was too great, causing body detonation. Perhaps the herb's age was the cause, he suddenly realizes. He decides to raise his cultivation before refining again, and chooses the beginner Li Huo alchemy manual. The system reports he extracted a green-grade talent costing 10,000 energy points. With 133,000 points left, he brings out the beginner Li Huo alchemy technique, spending another 10,000 and leaving 33,000 energy. Tu Jing realizes this simulation finally touched the core truth of Zhenyao Pass. It wasn't that the beasts came 15 years later once the pass fell. They invaded the real world to destroy everything. In truth, the giant beasts never vanished. They were merely held beyond Zhenyao Pass's boundary. Fortunately, 15 years remain enough time. If after hundreds more simulations he still can't save the world, hell accept fate.